friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kalikaloo on the internet, and I also go by the name of Kali, and I'm very happy that you found your way to today's video, which is another sip and dodge chat. So if you're new to my channel, you don't know what this is about. This is actually a video in which I will be having an interview with one of our artists from JollyGemShop. So if you don't know it, we have a little small shop that's called JollyGemShop. You can find it under www.jollygemshop.com. I will link it down below as well. And we sometimes get some of our artists to join us in an art chat. So usually on Sundays you get a whip and sip and chat, and sometimes you get a sip and art chat. And this is the third episode of this very fun event in which we are going to try to discover a little bit more about the artist that we are presenting. So for this instant, we have Ruby Navish with us. So Ruby Navish, you will see she's a very lovely and kind artist that comes over from the Philippines. And she does a lot of artwork in our shop, and especially like more fan arts. And you often see like characters in her art. And she has a very nice style to draw and very unique way to draw her characters. So if you're interested, I really hope you're going to enjoy this little interview that we have prepared for you. And I hope that you can leave a kind comment at the end of it for Ruby so that she can also read it too. We are also going to have a Ruby Navish week starting next week. So if you're interested in her artwork, there might be some surprises there. So have your eyes out for that. It does happen during the entire week, and during this week you can have a percentage on all of her kits. And if you decide to tip at checkout, like the amount that you will tip will go 100% to Ruby Navish. So this is a way that we decided to integrate for you guys so that you are able as well to like kind of give something to the artist if you prefer. It's a give and take. So yeah, we will give you a little bit of percentage, and if you want to give something back and you want to give her a little bit of an extra money like from the art that she sells in our shop, you can do this. So it's not an obligatory thing, it's just like something if you want to do it, you can do it, of course. But we will also be releasing, a few new diamond paintings from her this week. So stay tuned for that if you are enjoying her artwork as well. So with this, I'm going to stop talking and let's start immediately. Ruby, I'm really happy to have you here.
Yeah, I'm also very happy because I've never had anyone ask me anything remotely close to this. This is my first time.
Okay, so I'm really excited because you have seen that this is the third episode of like a sip and art chat. It's like the third time I do this, and every time it's like a new discovery because it's so interesting to see how you create your artwork. So I'm really happy to hear more about that today. So Ruby, could you like kind of present yourself a little bit for those that are listening and watching the video?
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Ruby, Ruby Navish, but my art page goes by Arolfjrxwork. Some people call it Arolf Jr. Doesn't matter. I am a freelance digital artist. But I also like to use like traditional art like gouache or watercolors, oil pastels or something like that. But as of now, I focus on digital art because I find it more convenient, more fun, and just a lot more efficient, if that's the right term to use. My inspiration, as I've said, are from mostly animes that I watch, Ghibli movies, random series that I find, and just my emotions in general.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I saw. That's what I wanted to say. Sorry, I did break you off, but when I first discovered your artwork, I was so in love with your fan art, your creations, and they look all very, very beautiful. And you have like this kind of soft style that I really like. It's really, really soft, like your drawings, and that's really something special as well. So before we dive a little more deeper into your artwork, I have two questions for you. Did you bring something to drink?
Oh, I did. It's right here, but I'm gonna be quite honest, it's almost close.
Oh,
It's right here because if You can tell I am anxious excited right now, but mostly excited.
And what is it you did bring? Is it coffee? Is it tea? What is it?
If you ask literally anyone in a Filipino household, we use what is called like 3-in-1 coffee.
Okay.
That is what I'm drinking right now. But I've been drinking for half an hour already.
Okay. So you're excited and you're full of energy, right? Yeah.
Yeah, super. To be honest, like a few hours ago, I was quite worried because we didn't have electricity. So I was worried that I won't be able to do this interview with you. But now everything's fine. I
Uh,
hope everything will go well and it will be a successful
yeah,
interview of some sort. Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. So we were lucky that it did work. So that's nice. I also wanted to ask you, with it, when I did send you like the questions, I told you like there's a little challenge we could do, like a drawing challenge. Are you up to it?
Yeah, I have my sketch notebook here. I will get just one page from it,
Mhm.
this one.
Uh-huh.
I will use it to draw your dog,
Yeah.
Edgar.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's adorable, and I'm really excited to draw him.
Okay, because I know that you mainly draw characters. So I was like
Yeah,
wondering, will she do it? But I'm happy that you want to try it. So you don't need to finish it. That's completely fine. Just while we are talking, just draw and whatever, how far you can go. That's all.
yeah. I have all my art materials here, but I would use like the two basic
Mhm.
art tools that I have right now. Literally a pencil and a pen.
Mhm.
I think that would be okay.
Yeah, sure. So Ruby,
Okay.
could you let me know what I should draw for you? Like I can't draw, but I will try the challenge with you. Is there something?
Mm, you can for me, I am gonna draw your dog, right? So maybe you can draw like just an orange cat.
An orange cat.
That kind of could look like Garfield because I have an orange cat and his name is Garfield and he looks like Garfield too.
Okay, I'll try. I'll try. I do my best. And his name is
Yeah,
Garfield. Yeah.
yeah. Same goes to me. Do not expect like a very detailed kind of drawing because I mostly focus on portraits. I'm not really good with animals and stuff like that. But I will still try my best.
Okay. Then let's get started. Also, Ruby, so you told us a little bit about your inspiration, so Studio Ghibli and so on. At what time did you actually know that you wanted to become like more of an artist?
It's kind of a funny story actually. It started when I was very young, right, like in grade school. I specifically remember when I was in fifth grade, I did this kind of comics at the back of my notebook, and I will pass it around the classroom and would just get feedback from my classmate. I will draw my own comics, stuff like that. And then one time, my teacher um, noticed us like talking about it, and he kind of like confiscate
Oh.
my comics, and I was really sad about it. I stopped drawing for like years after that because I felt kind of sad.
Mhm.
But I went on hiatus
Okay.
for art. But then when I discovered digital art literally before the pandemic started, that's when I kind of like, ooh, this is kind of like my interest is peaked.
Mhm.
And I've always wondered why I've never really gotten into digital art early on because, as I've said, it's much more convenient, much more, I don't know, easier to use it. I can literally use my phone. That's what I started. And sometimes I still use my phone to draw.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Mhm.
That's where I kind of like started realizing my passion for art and something like that.
Mhm. That's nice. So you started drawing when you were really small, but
Yeah,
then you changed to digital art, and I think you said that you started working on your phone at the beginning. Isn't that a little bit
yeah.
complicated because it's really small, or?
It is. It does has like pros and cons to it. The pros is that it's literally your phone. We've been using our phone for like 24/7, but at the same time, yeah, it's very small. And sometimes I only have like my stylus pen here with me to draw. And, there's not a lot of space on your phone to work on, and you'll get easily distracted by it.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
one of the things that I kind of dislike about it.
Mhm.
But overall, I don't really have like any fancy setup when it comes to digital artwork. But I think it's not about the materials itself. It's about how you use what you have
Mhm.
and be content with it. Yeah.
I love that idea, like how you express it. It's not like the most expensive material that makes a great artist in the end. And
Mm.
all your artworks do look so beautiful. Like even like I could not imagine that you do it on a small phone. I thought you were doing it on a big tablet or something. Like that's amazing.
Yeah.
Like I'm impressed.
Most of the time, I'm just like here, for example, this is my phone. I'm like this,
Wow.
focusing on every single detail.
Could you work us a little bit through your like habit? Like how do you work? How do you create your artwork in general? Like how long does it take you and what are the steps that you usually do?
It varies from artwork to artwork, but in general, it takes me 6 to 8 hours, mostly because I don't finish it in one sitting. I
Mm,
find it much more, again, efficient. That's my favorite word to use. Because if I try to finish it in one sitting, I will just end up hating it
okay.
or procrastinate or not even finish it.
Mhm.
Because, so that's kind of like, I don't know, the way I found to be able to finish my artwork, to just finish them one by one. Like, for example, I will start the sketch today, and maybe tomorrow I will try to render it.
Mhm.
And then the next day I will do the line art.
Okay.
And then the day after that, I will completely focus on details, the tiny details itself,
Mhm.
something like that.
Yeah. When I was back in school, I think one teacher told us as well, like if you're finished, if it's like a project for art or even like something that you have written, just take it, put it away, take it out the next day and have a
Yeah.
look at it because this also helps you like to see imperfections or things that you want to change. So do you think this does also occur for you, like for your artwork?
Yeah, that's one of the advices from some digital artists that I've talked to that I followed because yeah, the more you work on your piece for like hours straight, the more you'll get used to it. You won't even gonna notice the tiny mistakes that you just did. You'll you'll be fine with it. At the end, you'll be like, oh, this is good enough. I'll post it anyway. No one's gonna notice
Mm,
the mistakes that I did. But I think that's the fun part about art itself. It's that it doesn't have any rules. Do it in one sitting, do it day by day. Make mistakes, doesn't matter. There's always room for mistakes, and it doesn't have to be perfect.
no. Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's totally right. Um, and I was wondering, did you like notice some big evolution throughout your drawings? Like, did you change a lot your art style? You told me that you changed from more traditional to digital in the last years, but were there like more changes um, in your
Yeah,
style?
it was a drastic change from traditional to digital art, but mainly I'm gonna focus on digital art today because, as I've said, I started focusing on digital art like a few months before the pandemic happened. And then while we're literally in the middle of pandemic, like year 2020, I was diving into this art style of Tim Burton, Mr. Tim Burton.
Mhm.
Yeah, I really love his aesthetic. And most of the time, I will just draw, like, again, fan arts of my favorite TV shows, animes, and stuff like that. Even Ghibli's, as I've said. I will draw them in this, like, Tim Burton-ish
Mhm.
style, but still putting a bit of my own. But I didn't feel quite happy with the comments I received back then because it would always be like, oh my God, this is this looks exactly like Tim Burton. It reminds me of Tim Burton. And it doesn't, I don't really read much comments about me. I
Mhm.
am the artist of the drawings that I posted, but I don't really, it's not that I'm fishing for compliments, but I don't really see any um, remarks about the
You
artist itself, mostly about Tim Burton. And that's when I kind of like transitioned into this kind of like semi-realism art style.
Mhm.
It's it still look childish. Some people say that, but it doesn't matter. It can look anime-ish or like Disney, something like that. But at the same time, that's why I go out on my comfort zone. That's why I also started drawing like gore art.
Mhm. Yeah, I
Yeah,
noticed that. Yeah. Yeah, it is like more, I think you go back to your roots a little bit. You go back to Tim Burton with some inspiration in that, but you still have your own
yeah.
style. Like that's something that I find really fascinating. When I look at your characters, I think that they have a very distinguished like facial expression that often comes back. And this
Mm.
always when I see it, I know, ah, that's Ruby's artwork. So I think that's right. If like a great compliment, if you can have like people who recognize the artist as well. So I think it's nice that you like changed your art style, and I think that helped you maybe as well to find yourself more as an artist. Did it? I don't know.
Yeah, it's not an easy process. It took me 3 years to be exact. And in those 3 years, it is still a work in progress up until now. But I think I can confidently say that I finally found the art style that I'm happy with. And as you said, I'm very happy to hear that once you see my works, you could actually tell that
Yeah.
that's for me. I did that. I'm the artist behind it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is also what artists maybe try to go for, like to find their art
Yeah.
style. And I know that in the beginning it's really difficult because you often like use sources that exist because you start a drawing and from that to find your own. I think that's really a magical process. Like, is there like a painting from before, like that you still like to go to or that you would love to change um and redraw today with your own art style?
Ooh, this is kind of like a fun question because for like every month, I will try to revisit some of my old artworks and redraw them.
Mhm.
It's my current art style now. So if there's one, I think it would be, like the Avatar series.
Yeah,
Yeah, I once did that, like a series of drawings of Aang, Katara, and then Sokka, Prince Zuko. I drew them using this Tim Burton
style.
art style, inspired art style. I wonder what it would be like. I mean, what it would look like if I drew them with the art style I have now.
Yeah.
But let's see. I will wait for season 2
Mhm.
because not a lot of people are talking about it.
Yeah, it's is it already out or is it coming out? I have seen it when I was small, like the very first Avatar, but ever since I have not seen the rest. So is there a new one
I
coming out?
think they just announced that there's like season 2, season 3, and season 4. We just gonna have to wait for it. I'm really excited for that.
Mhm. Yeah, I would love to see your old like paintings, drawings retransformed in something new. Like you also have some more drawings, I think, from other like creations that you did from other anime and also from Genshin Impact. And I know that we
Oh,
published two of them in our shop, and they are very, very beautiful as well. So I think we can very well see your art style in them as well. I will try to put some pictures in here so that those that watch the video can also see what we are talking about. So I wanted to ask you, like, is there like one apart from Tim Burton, another big inspiration that you have for your art style?
um, I just like to go out of my comfort zone. That's why I use like bright colors because my real life isn't that vibrant. As you can see, I'm literally wearing all black right now. I my wardrobe only consists of two colors, black and then the rest of the colors of the rainbow. And that's why I think my artwork are pretty much kind of like my alter ego.
Okay.
Here I am. I would describe my fashion as like a comfortable vampire, but for my artwork, I don't want them to look like that. I want them to look like they eat strawberries and cotton candies for breakfast. I want them to look like they belong in a place where there's always rainbows and stuff. That's why I mainly focus on using a lot of fun and vibrant colors.
Yeah, that's what I meant when I said that your art looks kind of soft, like you have like more of these also like wider colors or like beige tones, and then you have like the pink and the red and all. So
Yeah.
I see the contrast that you're talking about. So I think that you really have um, brought that into your drawings as well. So is there like in your newer creation one of your favorite creations? Do you have like a favorite creation of your newer drawings?
As of right now,
Yeah.
um, there's this artwork that I just did. It's inspired by, I just rewatched this series called Euphoria. Um, it is inspired by that. I just posted it,
Oh, okay.
and
I'm going to
yeah,
try to pop it up in here later on. Um, is there something like, do you just like the series or do you like something special with your drawing that you'd like added for this one in particular? Like, what does it make it your favorite picture at the moment?
the Euphoria one,
Yeah, yeah.
because I finished that a few weeks ago. I was in a bad a bad time of my life. That's why I think it kind of like reflected to my artwork. It was kind of melancholy. It's not as vibrant as I thought it was gonna be.
Okay.
And the whole time I was just listening to a lot of let's say sad songs, mostly Lana Del Rey's and stuff like that. I will listen to that kind of songs while working on that artwork. That's why I can say it's one of my favorite right now because that's what I kind of like about creating art. It allows me to show this vulnerable side of me that I don't really show a lot in person.
In person.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this contrast you were talking about. Um, you talk a lot about Lana Del Rey, and Lana Del Rey is also like one of my favorite singers. And I was wondering, you say that in your introduction, you also said that you told us that you like to show your emotions through the paintings. Um, does it also happen that songs inspire you? You said that it was mainly Ghibli movies or anime, but does it also happen that like songs can inspire you to create something?
Yeah, if I'm a really bubbly mood, I will just put on a random movie on the background while working. But as I've said, like a few weeks ago, if I am this really down, kind of sad mood, I will just put on, I will just, what's the word? Put my playlist on shuffle, mostly focusing on sad songs because it will resonate to my artwork regardless.
Yeah. That's true. So I get that. I get that point that it's really important also like to have a way to express yourself if you don't express it through yourself. Like art does help you to get out your emotions or in a different way. I also wanted to ask you a little bit more about your resolutions. Do you still have a resolution for 2024, something that you wanted to achieve this year for your art?
I'm really open to receiving more commissions
Mhm,
and possible more of collabs
mhm,
because as of this year, I think I really focus a lot on my personal art growth. So it wouldn't hurt to at least go out of my comfort zone and collab with a lot of people with different artists and kind of like what's the word? Kind of like experiment with different art styles. I think it would be fun.
Mhm.
But at the same time, still putting the art style that I have currently.
Mhm. Like getting out of your comfort zone a little bit.
Yeah, especially when it comes to gore
Mhm.
arts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed this in your more latest drawings. There were some adaptation of drawings you already made, right? That have a little bit of this draw us back to them. I like that. That's really nice. Um,
Yeah.
if you want, let's move on a little bit and let's talk about diamond painting, if you want to. So,
Okay.
when I contacted you, we were still very new as a company. Now it's going to be nearly 1 year that we out there. Um, were you
Yeah,
like,
congratulations in advance.
thank you. Were you like kind of, what did you think when we contacted you? Like, was this something that you were like aware of that it did exist? Were you excited or I don't know?
I had like a few ideas about diamond painting and crafting, something like that, because I only did once when I was in junior high school. But that, to be honest, that is my only experience when it comes to diamond painting. When you reached out to me, to be honest, I was quite, what's the word? I was questioning if this is legit or not,
Mhm.
because I don't know if this is too much information, but I've been scammed by some people who would pretend that they want to collab with me, they would commission me and stuff like that. So
Mm,
when you reached out to me, I was like double checking. I was like self guessing, um, self doubting if
mm,
this is real or am I just getting like
yeah,
scammed or something like that.
yeah. Like,
But the more I look into it, the more kind of like doesn't matter. It happened to me a lot already, so why not try to open
mhm,
this door once more
mhm.
and let's see what will happen. And right now, here I am talking with you, and I couldn't be happier.
Oh, I'm really happy to hear that. Like, but I understand where you're coming from because when we were like starting, it was also really hard to contact like artists because there was not much to show off. Like, we could not tell them we are working with this one and this artist that can show you that we are like for real. So it was also difficult for us like to find artists that wanted to accept like to work with us. So I was really happy when you accepted. And I completely understand where you're coming from to be careful because there are a lot of people out there who really want to scam you or who tell you, yeah, you can draw something for me, I will pay you later, and it does never happen. So we completely understand, and that's also why I try always like to stay and communicate well with our artists, um, and to listen to your demands as well. That's really important. So thank you again, Ruby, for accepting
Yeah,
like
I feel quite honored because there's a lot of more even more skilled and talented artists out there, but then you find your way to notice me, and it does really means a lot because I'm merely just a small digital artist from the Philippines,
mm,
and I wasn't really expecting to have this opportunity with you.
mhm. And I also want to use this moment to tell you that we get a lot of nice feedback from some of our customers about your artwork. They are really excited about your drawings. So you say that you're still small and all. I mean, it is not always like, it has not to be like a big amount of followers on Instagram to be great in what you do. So please continue doing what you're doing. I really love what you're doing. So stay to that and just continue what you do because there are a lot of people who love what you're doing out there. Just wanted to tell you this as well because I think it's really
Yeah,
important
thank
to
you.
get that. Yeah.
I really appreciate that.
Mm.
I would just like to go back to when you asked me about resolutions for 2024 when it comes to art, because that is one of I forgot to mention it. It was already in the back of my mind,
Mm.
but I forgot. it's that I would love to not focus so much on the numbers,
Okay.
rather on focus not just on the details and the meaning of why am I doing this. I will try my best not to focus on the numbers, on the comments, or it doesn't really matter. If just one person could notice or could appreciate my art, I would be thankful enough for that.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
I have my parents here supporting me, so it doesn't matter if the entire internet would think that my artwork aren't that good enough because I have my backbone here supporting me.
Yeah.
And what's important is I do believe in myself and
I think that's the most important one. Like if you have someone who is there, like from your very family or friends that support you, and this also gives you like the motivation to go on with that. Like internet can be really, really toxic. So it's great to have a lot of following, but I think the most important one is still you and where you get your inspiration from, and you still should feel good and not just like feel pressure from all those social media things. So I get where you're coming from. I think this is a very nice resolution. And since we are talking about this, I wanted to ask you like there are a lot of like great health benefits also for when you do diamond painting, for example, or art in general. Like, is this something that's really important to you as well? Like the health benefit you get from your artwork?
hmm, wait, let me think.
Like I can reformulate if you want. Like, were you aware that art could help people or diamond painting could help people with, for example, mental health issues or that struggle with problems? Like, do you think,
Oh,
yeah.
I think my answer for that would be just do you. There's a lot of things that are happening around, a lot of things that could be stressful, could be family related or work related, career wise, stuff like that. So, whatever it is that is helping you, even just a tiny thing, it could be the most minor, small thing,
Mhm,
just do it. If it heals you, if you find it meditating at some point, do it. Doesn't matter.
mhm,
As long as you're not hurting other people, you're not, pushing your own boundaries
mhm,
to, why not just do it? Try something new. That is one of my main goals,
mhm.
to do not be afraid.
Yeah, don't be afraid, just do you. And that does also sound well with your resolution that you put for this year, right? So I think
Yeah.
that's a great advice. And I think you're completely right. Like art should also be about that. Like just be yourself, express yourself the way you want to be seen. And it might help you also to feel better. So thank you for this, Ruby, for this advice. Um, I wanted to ask you just a last question about diamond painting. And so I wanted to know, we have already a few diamond paintings from you in our shop, and we want to start hand rendering things, which means that we will do it like pixel by pixel, that it will be like a little bit clearer. You know that we will going to have an Ruby Navish artwork in our shop as well. So when this video comes out, we will also offer like your diamond painting in our shop, and people can also leave tips if they want to tip you at that moment. And the whole amount of tips will go to you, of course, as an artist. I wanted to know from the diamond paintings that we still have that will get published in the future, is there one that you would like for us to hand render? And if yes, like which part would you want to make a little bit more sparkly or a little bit more extra? You don't have to answer right away. If you have an idea, you can sure tell me now. Otherwise, we can like, I will update this later on in the video. So
Okay. I think I can answer that right now because I have two things in mind.
yeah, sure.
Um, because I mostly, every time I will render my artwork, I found myself enjoying the process of rendering the eyes and the
Oh,
lips.
okay.
Yeah, because the way I drew eyes is nothing special, and the way also when it comes to the lips, but I think the overall vibe that I'm putting to my artwork, it's what setting me aside. Like it is what making my artwork different from other artists. That's why maybe that eyes or the lips, or maybe both of them.
Or both of them, sure. So if you want, we can wrap up our little interview with a few fun questions.
Okay.
Okay. What, like you told us a little bit, you want to get more commissions maybe for this year. Is there like a weird request or commission that you did receive in the past that you want to talk about?
Okay. It's I don't know if you'll find this funny, but it's kind of funny for me. But last year I rewatched this anime called Jujutsu Kaisen, and decided to draw a fan art for the main character. His name is Gojo Satoru, and when I posted it, did receive um, some compliments and positive comments from people here and there, even people that who doesn't watch animes. But there's this one funny message that I received. She's also a fan of the anime itself. She asked me if I could draw the same character, but in like NSFW, like not safe for work kind of art style. I was like, what do you mean by that? I was trying to act clueless about it, but I know exactly what she was talking about. And I was like, can you elaborate something like that? And she did, in fact, gave me a very detailed description of what she wants. And I was like, oh, I'm afraid that I cannot accept this commission because obviously I like to draw like family friendly kind of fan arts. And she was like, but you're really good at it. You like know how to work with the anatomy and stuff like that. It's like, oh, but I'm not that kind of artist yet.
Yeah.
I said yet,
Mm,
but she kind of like been not pushing me or forcing me something like that, but she was encouraging me
to
to at least give it a try. So I am following as of now. I am following a lot of not a lot, but some artists who does that kind of artwork, but I don't really feel comfortable with working with those kind of artworks. So I had to decline with her request. But just a few weeks ago, she contacted me again and she was asking if I changed my mind, something like that. I was like, I still have not changed my mind, but I would be glad to just draw you or draw your friends, something like that. And she's like, no, I really want you to draw this anime
yeah.
in this specific post that she sent me. It's like, I'm really flattered that you find me like I don't know how to say it through words. I was speechless even up until now.
I believe you. Well, I know that like there are a lot of fans from Gojo Sensei because he like it's a little bit like Kakashi and so on from Naruto. I know that there are like a few people who have some ideas about that kind of drawings of these men. Um, but I get where you're coming from. I feel like it should be something that you feel comfortable with drawing. And you said yet, so maybe there's still like in the future, we don't know. Maybe we would see something like this. But you should not be forced into a direction you don't want to do. But I know that like we have one of our artists, Pandi Als, she's called from Italy. And she does a lot of like these kind of drawings. I know that she does like the light version, and then she does also for her Patreon fans some not safe for work kind of paintings. So maybe when we get
Me myself, to be honest, me myself, I am subscribed to some artists' Patreons, and I just subscribe to them because I would love to express my way to support them.
Mhm.
And I do enjoy their art, but as I've said, me myself, I'm not comfortable with making my own versions of those kind of artworks.
Mhm. That's fine. I mean, everyone has their own like styles, limits, comfort zones, so that's completely fine. Like everyone has their cup of tea that they want to do. So, yeah. But you just like inspired me to try to get her also in a whip and art chat, sip and art chat, because I would love to hear her idea about why she does draw these kind of things. So maybe I will get her on our channel just to have an idea. So
Yeah,
Ruby,
I would look forward to that. I will also watch that.
yeah, just to know why. Okay. Ruby, I just have another question for you. Did it sometimes happen to you that you made a mistake, like, or that you did some, for example, drop something on your drawing or some big mistake?
When it comes to digital or traditional art, because I have stories for both.
Oh, you choose.
Um, I'll go with traditional this time. Just a few days ago, I was working on, let me look for it. I was working on this painting. It's nothing special. It's like blocks or something like that.
Mhm.
And also this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
kind of like an illusion.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, while I was working on this, I have my paintbrush. Let's assume that this is my paintbrush, but this is a powder blush. I mean powder brush. While I was working on it, I was like this and this, and my coffee is sitting next to my paint paint cup, whatever you want to call it. Like, yeah. And because my coffee has gone cold, I randomly reached out for a random cup. I didn't ask myself why is my coffee already cold because it's supposed to be hot. It's a coffee, right? But then when I took a sip on it, I was like, why does it have any taste? Like, why is my coffee bland? I like my coffee to be sweet.
Mhm.
And when I look to the cup itself,
Oh,
it's not my coffee.
it's the wrong cup. Oh. Oh.
Yeah, you can assume what kind of cup I was holding that day. I was like mortified. Whew.
Whew, but you survived.
Yeah, I can't believe I just shared that. But I think most artists could relate to that kind of incident at
Hmm.
some point.
You just like
Yeah,
grab without having a look at it, and then it does
yeah.
happen. Yeah. Thank you for sharing this funny story with us, also about the commission. This made me laugh a lot. Um, if you had like a superpower that had to be related to art, what could it be for you?
Related to art. Oh, that would be fun. Out of all the questions you sent me, this is one of the questions that I'm really excited to answer. I've only checked the list of questions you sent me once because I want to be as spontaneous as much as possible when it comes to my answers. When it comes to this question, I think I want to have Wanda's superpower.
Oh,
Okay, I don't want to belittle her superpowers itself, but she kind of has like this telekinesis
mhm.
type of power. I
Yeah.
want to be able to do that while I'm working. I just want to be able to, for example, like lay back down and let all my papers, my pencils, and watercolors do the job. Or, for example, when I'm using my phone, I just want to be able to do this with a flicker of my hand and finish my artwork in a matter of seconds, something like that.
Like everything you have in your mind comes right to paper, and then you have the artwork created. That would be great for power, but you would create so
Yeah,
many nice drawings. Like you had like a stash that would be tremendous, right?
kind of like Harry Potter. For example, this is my wand. I'd be like, chish, and then the artwork is done.
It appears. But wouldn't this take away a little bit of the fun of creating as well? You think?
Mm, I don't think so because with or without power, I think I would have fun because it's all about the process itself.
And I never had like an answer like this, so I'm really intrigued by your answer because I did not think about that. But of course, it's really makes drawing even easier. Like it's a great superpower. Um,
Yeah.
Ruby, one last fun question before we are going to do a little game. But which painting of you would you like send into space for other species to see, and why?
Mm. Recently, I posted this semi-realistic portrait, not actually a portrait, but an eye drawing of someone, and that someone is my partner. And he's currently on military right now. And I would love someone out there on space will be able to see how I put my love to this person through by drawing their eyes because what that's one of my favorite features to focus on their eyes. They say that eyes are windows to our soul. So probably our eyelashes are the curtains, something like that. So yeah, I'll probably go with the eye portrait that I just did a few weeks ago.
Oh, this is
It's
so
a safe and a cute answer, I think.
yeah, it's really beautiful. Like I like that idea. It has a lot of meaning, like for yourself as well. So I hope he comes back very soon and in good health. So how long is he staying? How long is he staying?
Um, he's gonna go back in the first week of July, I think.
Okay, so a lot of strength. I know that this is difficult, but mm, very beautiful meaning behind your story. Thank you. So,
Mhm.
Ruby, let's do a quick game. And then we can finish like the interview with our drawings. I'm not going to show it, but yeah. If you're not for it's quite okay. It's no problem at all. For this game, I'm going to tell you like two things, and you have to choose one. You don't have to explain, except if you want to. Okay.
Yeah, here we call it like a fast talk.
Fast talk. Fast talk.
Yeah,
Then let's do a fast talk. Tea or coffee?
coffee, obviously.
Sweet coffee.
Yeah,
Um, Morning or night?
night.
Abstract or realism?
Realism.
Character or landscape? I think this one is easy.
You'll be surprised. Landscape.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Most of your drawings are characters, right? So,
Mhm.
can you elaborate a little bit more why you chose landscapes?
When it comes to digital art, can you hear me? Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
When it comes to digital art, I like to focus on portraits, obviously, but every time I will handle like a real life brush with my hand, I mainly focus on landscapes and
Mhm.
abstracts. But I chose realism and landscape.
Yeah, makes sense. I think, do you think it's easier to draw landscapes in traditional art than in digital then?
Hmm. It is quite hard if you ask me because, but at the same time, you know what? Portraits are much more difficult to draw because you have to make sure that the eyes are even, you have to make sure that the anatomy is close to perfection because some people out there can be quite harsh. But when it comes to landscape, it's all about the colors itself, the flow of the painting, and the feeling that you're trying to give the people who are gonna look at it, something like that.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. I was not aware that you like landscapes so much, but maybe we'll see more of that in the future, so we don't know. Are you more planned or more spontaneous?
I think it is quite obvious that I am more of a spontaneous kind of person.
Mhm. Studio or outdoor?
studio.
Mm.
It would be, again, I know you told me not to explain, but I just want
Yeah,
to say that
yeah.
it would be fun to have a studio of my own because I literally just work here on my small room and I'm doing this interview with you at the edge of my bed. And it would be fun to have like a simple but, you know, a really good setup for my artwork.
Mhm. I like that
Yeah.
idea because we have also had like artists who told us outside because they can capture things better, but the studio is also like calmer sometimes and you just like can focus more on your artwork. So you are completely, if you want to explain something, you can go for it, right? It's just like quick talk, but you can still explain if you want to. 10 colors or 80 colors in one painting?
Oh, okay. 10 colors or 80 colors. Either way, I'm gonna have a hard time picking. I'll go with 10 colors.
Okay.
As long as in those 10 colors, the primary colors are included, it would not be as hard for me to come up with more colors.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um, how many colors do you usually use? Is like there for you more middle way or
That's kind of like a hard one because I just use the color picking tool
okay?
to the um to the drawing app that I'm using. I don't really have an exact number in mind. I use more than more than 10 colors.
Mm. It depends a lot on the drawing, I guess.
Yeah, if you see an artwork of mine that is mostly in pink, rest assured that I use 10 shades of different pinks in different hues, saturations,
Mhm.
something like that.
Yeah, to get that really nice sweetness out of it. Yeah. What is your favorite color?
Black, obviously, and then red. My
Red,
hair, red and black.
red, black. Your preferred medium? We did already talk about that though.
Digital,
Digital.
digital art.
Do you have a dream project?
My dream project, I don't really have one in mind, but I just want this project with you to continue on. And, because I really am having a lot of fun time with this
Mhm.
collab with you.
It's so sweet of you. Thank you, Ruby. Do you also have like a dream location or dream location exhibition where you want to expose your artwork?
Maybe someday I would, um, maybe here in the Philippines, in my own country, because there isn't a lot of, well, there is a lot of digital and traditional skilled and talented artists in my country, but we are not a lot of people give us credit when it comes to like that. Some people are belittling. Some people are kind of like underestimating the power of digital art. They don't really quite understand. Some people would actually even straight up tell us that digital art isn't real art. So what it is then?
Yeah. Yeah, I understand the recognition of what you're doing, at least that it has something to do. It's really important. Yeah. So I really hope that one day you can expose or present your drawings in your hometown as well. I think that would be very lovely. And one last question, Ruby, if you want to. What is your current project? Can you give us a little bit of a hint about that?
My current project is like a mini series that I'm currently working on. If you're familiar with Hello Kitty and her friends, I don't know if Hello Kitty is a girl or boy. Some people say that he's a boy, she's a girl. Hello Kitty and friends with like Sanrio, with cinnamon, Rolly, something like that. I'll, I'm currently working on a project where I will turn them to human in
Oh,
my own style.
Oh, I like that. I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm excited. I love all these little characters and also the colors of them. They are really, really pretty. So I'm looking forward to see them on your Instagram. I'm really curious about them.
Yeah,
So
it's been a work in progress for months. Hopefully, I will be able to finish it soon.
yeah, I'm excited to see that. Ruby, do you still have a question? Otherwise, we can like wrap this off if you want.
If I have a question for you,
Yeah,
okay.
sure.
I would love to know like what makes me different from the other artists that you've collabed with because I know I also checked the art pages of some some of the artists that you are currently
Mhm.
having a collab with,
Yeah.
and most of them I was like astonished by their artwork. I can't believe that a human being could actually create that, even though I am an artist myself. I just want to know if what makes my artwork different from others.
Can I show it to you through
I,
an example? Can I
yeah,
show?
go ahead.
Yeah. So you did draw this one, for example, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. The Euphoria one.
Yeah, well, she is just gorgeous. And what I love about the, oh, wait, I just went up. What I love about it is a little bit the things that you talked already about, like the colors you choose. They are really soft, and I think this makes you so different. And also your faces, like they have very distinctive faces, and they are all so, so beautiful. And I think one does really feel like the time you take for the eyes, for the mouths. And that's really something special that you don't see in other drawings, like in other creations. Like this softness you use. I don't know if it's the way you draw your line works or but it's really something that's different from other artists we have. So that's something that I really find outstanding in your own artwork. So I don't know if this helps you, but it's difficult for me to express since I'm not an artist, but that's what is standing out for me the most. Mhm.
Yeah, I really appreciate that you said that because I did receive some comments here and there saying that my art style kind of has like this same face syndrome. I
Oh,
don't know. But I don't know. I don't really look at it like that because it's my drawings. I just drew whatever I want based on my feelings, based on what inspired me that day. And even if they do have the same faces, I think the meanings behind each artwork is what is making them different from each other.
mhm.
So I really appreciate that you notice that trait.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I really love all of your artwork. So I'm really happy when we bring out our Ruby Navish week and when I can show more of your artwork to our customers. So, Ruby, it is time. We have 5 more minutes left. So, can we reveal the drawings we made?
Ooh, this is the part that I'm really I'm nervous about because I don't know. I tried my best. I'm pretty sure Edgar is adorable in person, but I'm not really sure about my drawing. But I'll show it anyways.
Yeah, I will show you later mine of Garfield. So, yeah.
Okay, this is okay. There's no reason for me to embarrass. I tried my best, but here it is.
Oh, he's so sweet. No, he's adorable, Ruby. He's adorable. I love it. Like you did a great job with it. I love the little eyes and the tongue. Thank you. I think he looks adorable. You did a great job.
Yeah, thank you too. I tried my best. I don't really draw animals in general.
I know, so it's a little bit of a challenge, right? But I really like what you did, and we only had like a short time, so I think that if you had had more time, you could even add more. But I think it does already look very, very lovely. So thank you for drawing my dog. So I'm going to show you Garfield. I did inspire myself a little bit by the original one, right? So I don't know. Can you?
Oh,
Hey.
oh, that's definitely Garfield.
Yeah. I did draw like this cat. I tried to get inspired by the eyes, the way they draw it, but yeah. So
Yeah, that is quite adorable too. You even added colors.
yeah, a little bit, yeah. So Ruby,
Me, because
yeah,
Edgar is like black. I
yeah,
didn't really put colors. I just used pencil and a
that's fine.
normal pen.
That's fine, completely fine. So I just wanted to ask you before we get cut off, is there something you want to say, like for the audience that listened to us today?
Um, for whoever is watching this right now, for the diamond painting and crafting community, I'm really excited for you guys to um, have my artwork in a diamond painting and work on it, because I've never in my life imagined that my drawings would turn into something as beautiful as this, like a diamond painting. I've never expected something like this to happen. And now it's been happening for months, and I couldn't thank you enough for this. And also, the diamond painting community, I just want to say that again, you do you. You just do whatever you want that makes you happy, that makes you feel calm, that will kind of like put your mind into something else and forget our reality even just for a few hours. And whatever it is that you will find that is going to help you mentally or emotionally, something like that, just do it, because I'm new to this diamond painting world, and maybe someday I will order some from you too.
Mhm. Okay, thank you so much for your very, very sweet words, Ruby. I think that a lot of people will be touched by them. And I also want to thank you again for taking the time and to do this interview with me, because I know it's difficult with the time zone differences we have, but that makes me really happy that you could find the time and the possibility to do this with me. So I will finish the interview here. I will say thank you. And I hope we can maybe redo this in 1 year, 2 years. Who knows? Like maybe we can have another one and discuss about your evolution in artwork.